Okay, so if you follow my content, then you know that half the time what I talk about is travel, specifically travel to the Philippines, and I encourage guys to go and take a look because you won't believe it until you see it. Now, it's interesting that a lot of passport bros are making content, and a lot of them are like me. They've gone to the Philippines, they've seen it, they've been blown away. But they've been there for 2 weeks, maybe a month. They don't live there full time, and we never really get past the honeymoon phase. Well, there's a podcaster who does get past the honeymoon phase. His show is called Sunshine Shoulders. The YouTube streamer's name is Calvin, and he makes really good content about life in the Philippines. What's special about Sunshine Shoulders is that he's been living in the Philippines for years. So he's past the honeymoon phase, and he can explain what life is like when you've been in the Philippines for a while, when you've started to adjust to the pace of life in the Philippines. He gives the good, he gives the bad, he gives a very fair assessment of what the Philippines is like and helps guys make the decision about whether or not they want to go. Well, I was watching one of his videos and I was actually caught off guard because at the end of his video, he actually gave a shout out to me for something that I said. I left a comment on a different one of his videos that I was watching. He was explaining the slow pace of life in the Philippines and just preparing guys to get used to that if they're planning to move there. And I was explaining that I didn't mind the slow pace of life. I mean, if I look at my life in the States, I basically go to work, go to the gym, go to the grocery store, go home, watch Netflix. I'm not living the quote unquote exciting, fast paced life that some people might be. I'm just a working stiff. So if I was in the Philippines, it wouldn't really be that much slower. But here's the thing, and this is what I said in the comment section that he noticed and that he actually wanted to commend me for. I was explaining that there's a life available in the Philippines that is not available in the States. And if you've never been, it can be hard to believe, but it's simple. Just think of it this way. When I was in the Philippines, I felt like a bit of a celebrity. I could walk down streets and people would notice me because I wasn't a Filipino. In the Philippines, I'm rich. I do reasonably well in the States too, but in the Philippines, I'm really rich. So the caliber of life that I can live is different. Women in the Philippines are entirely different than women in the States. The women in the Philippines are legitimately dating with the intention of finding long-term partners, lifelong partners. And it shows in the way that they interact with you. Guys go there and in 2 weeks, in a month, they're engaged. A friend of mine, Steve, who I've covered in some of my earlier episodes, is actually in Hong Kong right now, marrying a Filipina who he met. And they are starting to build their life. They got married Saturday and are trying to figure out how quickly she can move to the States full time. The point is, you can go to the Philippines and you can jumpstart your life, or you can stay in the States and you can complain. There's a right answer to that question, in my opinion, and I encourage people to go. And what Calvin's shout out reminded me of is how important it is to keep putting the message out there, to keep encouraging guys to get their plane tickets, to make a trip and to see it for themselves. Because until you see it, it's going to be hard to believe just how pleasant the experience can be. But I'm going to keep pushing the message. Calvin's going to keep pushing the message. And hopefully we see more guys make the trips. Get your stamps, champs.